Yesterday, I went to Cardiff to see an artist that I know a lot of you would be familiar with called Lil TJ. And there's a song called Too Grown, where it's basically about losing someone and wanting them back, essentially. And he's singing about it, and then it's almost like he wants them back in the end. And it's quite an emotional song. And I also had a deep conversation with someone recently about breakup and losing someone who had a really deep relationship with someone. And it's sad in a sense because that's broken. And we were speaking about how the breakup has kind of dented the trust, even if it goes right again now, because she left him this time. What's going to stop her leaving him again? And what's going to stop her hurting him again? And it's such an iffy topic on overall sense that when you lose someone, should you take them back or should you just let them go? Should you take that person back because you like them, or you may have got on amazing, or you may have had an amazing connection, or they're the only one who made you feel a certain way? Like I've had before, there's like one girl who made me feel a certain way, and it's almost like all the other stuff doesn't add up with that. But because they make you feel a certain way, you think, fuck, I need them. Fuck, I need them back, or I need them back. And even when you get a simmer of hope, like I had before, I had hope with someone where it broke off and then we're speaking again and getting on again, and it's almost like it's going to happen again. Then it ended up breaking again. And it was one of these things where I should have avoided it in a real sense instead of trying to get it back in a sense. And it makes me ask, and it makes you ask the question, should you get back with someone if they've left you? Should you? Because I know people who have got back with people who they've broken up with, and they've had a relationship with, and they're still together now. But I also know it has been mostly the woman leaving and then the guy coming back, if that makes sense. It's been the woman leaving and then them coming back to the guy. It hasn't been the other way around, which is interesting. But most people I've seen, it's been like that, where their girl will go off. And there was a girl who I spoke to as well, and she said, I went through a hoe phase for a little bit. I went through my hoe phase. I was like, shit. And then she's like, no, I'm back with him. Now I'm back with him. We were flirting a little bit and we're this is like last year. She was like, I went through a hoe phase. And I was a bit like, oh, when it like it stings you a bit, because I can imagine that being me. And I can imagine me taking someone back like that after you may have had a certain connection with that person. And even with that same girl, she was asking me to speak to her more and always call me over and all that. Is weird. And it was one of these things that when you take someone back, do they respect you the same? This is what I think overall it comes down to. Do they respect you the same? If they are going to walk away from you and think, actually, there's better options out there. Actually, I may be better on my own. But the likelihood is they're getting with other people, other guys. They probably got guys lined up already. They didn't respect you the same way that you respect them. That's just base level. They didn't respect you the same way that you respect them. So what we need to do then is understand her value on a real level. So let's say you take her back after she's went off and she may have got with quite a few guys, or she may have got with another guy, and then he may not want her, or let's say he may have someone else, and then she comes back to you. That's a bad situation for you on a real level, because you can fall into a trap of becoming essentially the backup option, if that makes sense, which no guy wants. No guy wants to be a backup option, do they? And I see a lot of guys who fall into this where they get with someone and they be with them for a little bit and then they break up. They break up and then they wait a little bit of time and the guy's hurt and the guy's in pain, and it's almost such an iffy territory when you're in it. It's such a heartbreaking territory when you're in it, of course. And then the girl's going about doing whatever, and she obviously knows what she's doing. And then a bit later on, she might get back with you. And then they'd be like, nothing's ever happened. And then over time, it will probably happen again. And this is what I've seen, especially with the older people. Their relationships that break up and they get back together, ends up breaking again. With the people my age, I haven't been around them long enough to see what happens, if that makes sense, because it's still fresher and they're around my age, and obviously it's still happening. That makes sense. I wouldn't be surprised if them relationships break off. But what should we do if this happens to you overall? Should you take them back? Let's say there was a girl that you loved and you had an amazing connection with. Should you take them back, or should you leave them? Should you leave them in the past? Should you let them realize what they missed. And this is gonna sound cool-hearted, and a bit horrible in a sense. But do you really want someone who'll give up on you? Do you really want someone who's thought, shit, I'll be better without him in my life? Therefore, they will obviously, naturally, see other guys. A lot of times they'll be leaving to see another guy anyway, or going out to party. And what happens when they go out to party? They get drunk. And what's going on in the clubs? Drunk guys trying to get with girls all the time. And they give in because they're drunk, and they can say, oh shit, I was drunk, so it didn't matter. I know girls who have said that. They're like, oh, I was drunk. And that's their excuse for like getting with a guy and all this, which is each their own. Because I've obviously done that in the past, so I can essentially like point the finger at someone saying that's wrong. But let's say that was your girl. That's a terrible position to be in. Especially, let's say you break up with your girl and you see her out with her girls. It's not going to take much for her to find another guy. And this is where the real importance of you getting in better shape, building more money, all these different traits that is hard to find comes into play. This is where them traits really come into play, because if you're more rare, they're less likely to leave, or they're more likely to come back straight away. And you are more likely to find someone else. And this is what I've found in my life. When I've been weaker, not as strong, not the same belief, not the same confidence, I will get in less stuff. But now I'm stronger, in shape, feeling good about myself. I feel really good about myself, and I'm confident. I've got more money and all this stuff. And I've got ambition and all this stuff. I've got goals that I want to drive towards. And people can feel that when you speak to them. I get on with people better because I speak to more people. Therefore, I'm able to have better relationships and better things anyway. I find different girls and different things. But if you are not special in some way or some regard, if you're not different in one regard, and building your physique makes that a very big difference. It makes a very big difference because they don't want to lose that in a sense. And that ambition is something that comes back in a sense, because you might have let yourself go a little bit, which is natural. You might let yourself go a bit. I'm going to drink some water one sec. You might let yourself go a little bit. So you might have gained a bit of weight. The ambition's lost. You're not working out as hard. You're not working as hard because it's easy to fall into the comfort of having that person there. It's easy to do. If you got a nice girl who's loyal, who's respectful or whatever, and you do so many things with them, and you maybe go on dates often, you maybe just have her around the house, or let's order a takeaway. Oh, actually tonight, let's go to the shop, let's get some pizzas. It's like one of these things where you're obviously going to get in worse shape, and your ambition's slowly going to drive out, and she's probably going to lose attraction, naturally. She's probably going to lose attraction. And she knows if she gets you worse and she leaves, she's still holding her value most of the time, but you've lost your value. And this is why the guys who are in better shape and who are more confident are so much more rare than, I would say, a lot of girls now. A lot of girls, because I see a lot of pretty girls that are just about or whatever. But I see very few guys who are in shape, who are confident, who walk with a certain aura. I see very few guys. And I can only think off the top of my head, I could say roughly 2 guys that I've seen. Not seen, like seen out and about, that I would say have got that thing about them, that aura, and they absolutely slay, like different level slay. Like we're talking like in shape, belief, good job, money, confidence, speak to anyone, make anyone laugh, make anyone feel welcome, and that's a different level. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to take someone back who doesn't respect you. That's what you don't want to do. If the girl respects you and you truly feel like she respects you, you should theoretically be all right if you do take her back. But she ain't gonna respect you if she leaves. And it obviously depends how long she leaves for and all this. And even if they break up once, I feel like it's just overall not gonna work on a real sense. And some of you may say, like, I've had a relationship for a while that I was with, and then they broke up, and I got with them, and now I'm still together for like 25 years or something like that. But on a real level, I feel like, especially in this modern day, if a girl breaks up with you and then they may go on Tinder. They may have 100, 200, 300 likes, something ridiculous. All guys messaging them, oh, meet me. I'll take you here, I'll take you here, I'll take you here, I'll take you here. There was a girl I know, and she broke up with a guy. And like a week later, she had so many men messaging her. I was like, oh, you done that? You don't even post anything or whatever, because obviously I have her on socials. And she was like, I don't know. She obviously done something, but she was getting messages, or she was like, this guy really wants to see me, he wants to take me out tonight, he wants to take me to this place and all this. I was like, oh, what? That's crazy. And this is the thing, when they lose respect for you, you're kind of fucked in a real situation, you're fucked. And should you take them back? Should you take them back? The overall consensus is going to be no. The overall consensus is going to be no, because you will lose your own self-respect then. And the pain and the sadness and all that you feel from that situation, it's going to be quite hard. But don't fall into the trap also of feeling like that one person can heal that, if that makes sense. Because there's other girls out there with better qualities and all different things. And it is harder nowadays to find that. It is very hard. On every level, it's hard to find girls with better qualities, morals, all this stuff. It's very hard. It is, I'll admit, I find it hard. I find it hard in regards to, I love good connection, sexual connection, all that. But then like the way they act, I just don't agree with it. This doesn't fit with me, if that makes sense. And it's one of these things that hurts me in a sense, because it doesn't fit with my life. And there be red flags that I see initially. Like I should have called out straight away, or I should have pulled out straight away. And then I would have been all right in that situation. But instead I'll keep going because it's only this person that can make me feel this way. And it's just like, shouldn't do that. Shouldn't do that. And if they didn't respect you, you shouldn't be literally just being there for them straight away after. If that makes sense. Shouldn't be being there for them straight after. And I feel bad for these guys because I've seen it happen about 3-4 times recently with people I know. And it hurts, man. It hurts. It hurts. I couldn't imagine the position some of them in, especially this person I was speaking to the other day. I can't imagine the position. It's crazy. But if you take her back and she doesn't respect you, she obviously doesn't respect you because she's left. What is that going to do to your overall confidence or mental health? It isn't going to help you. It isn't going to help you. If anything, I would argue you going through something painful and sad and horrible, where you have to look in the mirror and look at yourself and deal with pain where it fucking hurts. Pain where deep inside it hurts. Where you can barely speak, where your throat's hurt and all that. Pain like that. And rebounding from that. And taking yourself up to a next level from that will be the best thing you could ever do. And it'd be something that will truly help you. Not something that absolutely crushes you and hurts you. It'd be something that betters you and helps you improve and makes you into a better version. Someone who you truly believe in. Someone who you're truly happy with. And then, over time, you will start achieving a better version to the point the old you is unrecognizable to you now. And you'll be able to have better options. And this is what I had. I had a girl a while ago. Year and a bit ago. I think year and a half, 8 months, something like that ago. And I really liked her, got amazing. The only girl I ever liked properly for a while. I've had quite a lot of girls since then, don't get me wrong, but at that time it was like, this one's the best and all this. And then I ended up breaking. And I had to deal with that. The pain, the sadness, all that, where you're by yourself and you're just like, fuck, I want to message them. I want to see if they're alright. But I knew if I'd done that, it would hurt my overall chances and hurt my situation with that person anyway. It wouldn't benefit me anyway. So what I had to do was look at myself in the mirror and say, what is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? Why do I not respect myself? Why do I require love from an external person that doesn't care the same amount as me, if that makes sense, or care for me in a real way? Obviously, when you're young, when you're around my age, back then I was 19, 20, I'm 21 now, and she was 18. It's hard to deal with that, if that makes sense, you know? It's hard to deal with that, but when you go through a situation like that, it helps you grow an insane amount. It really does. It helps you grow a ridiculous amount. When you look at yourself and you think, shit, I'm fucked. And you don't see a way out. You don't see a way out to the point you are a little bit, this is going to sound bad. And some of you may be like, fuck, that's serious. But you may not want to be here that much. You know what I mean? You may feel like, shit, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. I am hurt. And I can still feel the pain from that time, which is crazy. I feel like I can still feel the pain from that time, like deep within me. And you feel like, oh shit, why did I put my effort into a person? Why did I try for that person? Why did I make that person feel amazing, good, all this shit, for it to just break down? Why did I put so much effort in for it not to work out? But then there's a complete other side, the positive side, the amazing side. When you get through a situation like that, the self-belief, the confidence, how you view yourself, all areas, the literal self-accountability you build is exceptional from that. It's exceptional. And it's one of these things that allows you to actually look at yourself with confidence, belief, and happiness. One of these things that literally makes you almost feel like you're on a different level, and the external events don't matter too much. Obviously, there's extreme external events that's gonna fucking hurt. You know what I mean? Like death and all that stuff. Of course, that's gonna fucking sting. But let's say you go through a thing with a girl now, after you've been through a situation like that. It's not gonna be as much as a big deal. Because I had something like that literally a few months, what was it, like 6 months later, started seeing another girl. And that ended up breaking after like 3 months, something like that. And that was a deep connection. If anything, that was a deeper connection than the other one, where how much we spoke and how we got on and all that. And I had to rebuild from that. And then a few months later, I saw another girl. That was a quick thing. A few months later, another girl. A few months later, another girl. And then now this year I've seen like 5 different girls. But on a real level, it builds confidence, it builds belief in yourself, which is what matters the most. It's not about not trying to help yourself. It's one of these things that you need to do. You need to literally go through on a real sense. Sorry, my cat's there, but look. It's one of these things that you need to go through to help you build and help you literally better yourself. It's not something that is actually overall 100% negative. And this is what I want you lot to do when you go through pain, trauma, sadness. Understand the positives of you getting through this situation. You're going to have to go on alone. You're going to have to think, this girl doesn't respect me the same way I respect her. This girl isn't who I truly thought she was. Didn't have the same connection, the same belief in me, the same love, respect for me that I had for her, which is all right. It happens, it's life, and that's an easy way to just chop it down to, and it's just life. Oh, what can you do? But it's an external thing that you can't necessarily control, which is obvious, but you can't go through a situation like this and be just a massive victim and just hate yourself, which is natural to do. If anything, you've got to have that mindset like, I need to bounce back from this. I need to make myself self-sufficient or self-accountable, or have a belief in myself, have that ability to say, actually, I've got a lot of areas to work on, and take accountability for it where you can. And that's what I had to do. You got to take a self-accountability for this situation and think, shit, I may not be as good as I thought I was. I may have had too much reliance on this person. I may have not had that actual reliance in myself. My reliance was on a person, not myself. And now look at the situation I'm in. And then let's say, for example, you go a few months down the line and then she's like, I want you back. But you've put in things in place for you to improve. Is it going to be a good idea for you to take them back at that point in time? Is it going to be a good idea? Have a little think. If you have someone that kicks you out the door and then you improve, you're on a positive trajectory, and then she comes back and let's say you weren't the greatest when you're with her, you were giving in too much, you weren't as confident in yourself, and then you get them back and they want you back, is it a good idea for you to take them back when you're on a positive trajectory? You know the answer. It isn't going to be a real good example for you or a good life for you if that happens, which is a very probability. There's a very high probability of that happening. If that makes sense. If you go through a situation where you lose a girl and she sees you improving, whatever, you might see her just randomly and you're in better shape and you believe in yourself, she'll start acting up, or she'll want something from you. if you got a good girl, she'll try to actually make it happen. If you have a toxic girl like I had, they'll do some weird shit to try to get your attention. And if you go through a situation like this, it will allow you to grow, allow you to get better, and then you're on a positive trajectory. And then you'll find someone better and improve yourself. And you got to have this long-term mindset with this stuff, especially with relationships and girlfriends and all that. You need a long-term mindset. You can't have a short-term mindset, which a lot of guys have. They have a really short-term mindset. My cat's fucking licking himself there. They have a really short-term mindset with this stuff, and they think this is the only girl I'll ever get. So therefore, they feel like they've lost everything. When in reality, they've gained their self. When in reality, they've gained their self. They've lost someone, but they've gained their self, and that's what I had. That's the realest shit. You lose somebody, but you gain you as a person. You gain who you are as a person. You gain who you're going to be. You gain that trajectory where your belief is, how you believe in yourself, the confidence, the aura. You get in better shape. You start believing in yourself a real way. A real way, not an external way that is volatile, where it can be incredibly good or incredibly negative. You build that in you, which makes you feel almost exceptional. Exceptional when you go through that, because now it don't matter. The situations I've been through, it doesn't matter. It allowed me to grow, so it doesn't matter now. But if anything, I can view that situation as a positive and good. But if I didn't take that time to improve and take myself forward, it wouldn't help me. And funnily enough, the two situations with two of them girls, they've had two different things where they've tried to make things happen again with me, which is crazy. You know what I mean? They either tried or they've done something insanely obvious to try to get me back. Like they care. And it's crazy, you know? Because I'll just improve and take myself up to the point when these things happen. I'm able to just look at it from a logical perspective and think, no, that's not right. That's not good. That's not what I want. You took me for granted. Therefore, I can improve and get better. And I know what I want. My value's higher than what I was when I was with you now, if that makes sense. My value's higher than when I was with you. So I don't need you anymore. I don't want you anymore. And then you kind of move on to the next, where you can have a deep relationship. And obviously it gets complicated if you got a kid or you got a house and all this shit. But let's say on the base level, let's say you need to improve yourself regardless anyway. And it's crazy on a real sense, but don't take them back. Don't take them back, man. Don't take them back. Don't let them skip out your life and come back in your life. Don't let them disrespect you like that. And don't allow yourself to literally feel like you're nothing from it, which is going to happen. But don't allow yourself to be in that place too long. You will be in that place, but don't allow it to be in that place too long. Allow yourself to improve, get forward, get better, and improve yourself. And you will be shocked. You will be shocked at how good you can be, or how good you can become, how much more better you feel. Start getting outside, start getting in nature. Start just going for walks and take yourself to different places. Your business, whatever you work on, your job, maybe work a bit more. Better shape, main one, man. Get in better shape. Start dedicating time to fitness, building a bit of muscle, building a bit of confidence. And then you're getting random shit with girls. You get random shit with girls. It's like today, I was in Cardiff and I was sat eating a muffin with my brother. And this girl just was walking by and she just was looking at me like this. I'm sat over there and I catch her. I look at her like that. And I hold her eye contact for about 5 seconds. And I look away and then I look at my muffin. I look again and she's just looking at me, smiling again. I was like, what the fuck? This is weird. You're just getting random shit. If I was a bit more confident, I would have went up and spoke to her. But obviously I had to go back home anyway. So there's no point anyway, to be fair. But at the end of the day, you're getting random shit. When you build your physique, your body, you get random shit with random girls. You go out on a night out and you'll have girls coming up to you a little bit. Have girls coming up to you. Like I've had the past 5 times I've been out in Bristol, I've had girls come up to me in some way. So it'd either be their friend pushing them onto me, or a friend asking, "Oh, is your mate single?" Or her asking, "My mate's is your mate single?" And then obviously whatever, we get cracking then, get the Snapchat, get with them, all that shit. But if I went in shape, I wouldn't get them same results. And these are just club girls anyway, so obviously it's not like pro connection or whatever. But that's just an example of improvement. That's an example of, oh shit, I'm gonna be able to get with other girls anyway, so it doesn't make a big difference on a real sense. Obviously, that's just the sexual side. That's not the emotional side, but that's just the sexual side. But if you start improving yourself, you would just get in stuff with girls. You're just randomly in the sauna, and you're getting amazing conversations with girls to the point you can have a good conversation with them where you might be able to get their number or ask them out or whatever, and they'll probably say yeah, which I've had before, but I didn't ask them out because I'm a fucking pussy. Where I'd be chatting to them for like 30 minutes, making them laugh and all that, but on a real level, it's one of these things that you need to go through. You need to go through a situation where you lose someone to build yourself, to find yourself. You lose someone, you find yourself. If you rely on that person still, it's not going to help you and it's going to hurt you. And that's going to be the real message in this video. You shouldn't take them back. You shouldn't let them do that to you and allow them for you to feel like shit. Because they can do it again. And obviously when someone does something once, it's obviously a higher probability that they're going to do it again. And that's just natural. I feel like that's natural as human beings. If you get away with something once, you get away and do it again. It's just natural in a real sense. And I don't want you lot in this place where you would take someone back. They didn't respect you to leave you in the first place. And then you take it back and it's good for about 2 weeks, a month. And then it just goes bad again. And then you lose yourself again, even though you're on a positive trajectory. And then you look at yourself and think, fuck, why did I do that? I want you lot to have a almost real logical mindset with this. And it's hard because you're throwing random shit, random messages, random calls, maybe random nudes, all this stuff where you feel like, shit, I want her again, I want her around tonight. But if you keep it a bit more at arm's length, but then the feelings will come back, won't it? And the feelings will come back. If you keep it a bit at arm's length and see her here or there, or maybe get with her or there, might be all right. But if you develop that connection, that real connection again, it won't be all right. Because she could just walk out again and hurt you again. And the likelihood of her doing that is very high. Keep that in mind. Have respect for yourself. You shouldn't take them back. You shouldn't. On a real level, there may be certain times where you feel like, oh shit, I should. And you may feel like your situation is different, but it's so weird how these relationship things happen so similar to different people in a similar way. It's so weird how everyone's relationships kind of follow a similar way, if that makes sense. And what I will say is just have that iron mindset where you feel like, actually, I'm going to take time away from this now and improve myself. I'm going to get rid of her on my phone. I'm not going to talk to her. I'm not going to speak to her. I'm just going to let her be. You know what I mean? Let her be. I'm going to be a man. I'm going to improve myself and take myself forward and make myself better and improve myself. And then before you know it, 3 months down the line, 6 months down the line, if you're doing good habits, getting outside, working out, building yourself, making more money, you're going to feel like a new person. Speaking to more people, you're going to feel like a new person. And you're going to be more confident, more grateful for yourself. And you're going to think, shit, I didn't actually lose much. A year down the line, definitely you're going to feel like, shit, I didn't even lose much, man. I lost her to find myself. And before you know it, she's going to be doing something to try to get you or try to get your attention. And at that point, it's up to you what you do. That's going to be the real message. Don't take them back. Thank you lot for watching this video. Hope you lot got a lot of value. Hope I've explained a lot on this. I've been chatting for fucking ages, but hopefully you lot got some value. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe, share it as well. That helped me. Liking especially helps the channel grow, and that's going to be a real message. Thank you.